There has been a ton of coverage about Dispatch, and it absolutely is an awesome game that you should totally check out. However, this title represents more than just another visual novel, more than just another puzzle game with great animations. This is potentially a new threshold of interactive fiction, weaving narrative, imagery, and gameplay into a wholly new iteration of storytelling. Modern humans have been telling stories for the last 100,000 years, give or take. And for almost all of that time, these stories have been fluid and dynamic, changing based on the time, the place, and most importantly, the audience. The Iliad was never meant to be one version. Bards like Homer would never tell it the same way twice, with key themes and ideas being woven together to create a unique experience every time the tale is told. The catalog of ships which talks about the fleet sent to Troy would be presented very differently in Athens than Corinth. The current king doesn't like Achilles? Better talk about how much more badass Agamemnon is. The king's daughter just died? Maybe we should avoid mentioning Iphigenia. The idea that a story is only one way, one path, is a modern construct. This is why every culture and religion has numerous conflicting narratives that make up their shared mythoi. This is why there is so much fanfiction. And this is why visual novels are such a powerful narrative tool. Through presenting choices, visual novels restore a degree of agency and interactivity between the creator of a work and their audience. A fluidity that appears to be a fundamental part of the human condition. The earliest text adventures on mainframe computers from the 60s and 70s gave us a first glimpse of the potential of an unparalleled interactive narrative that allowed players to choose their own adventure. Which is funny because that predates the Choose Your Own Adventure series by more than a decade. That won't stop the company that claims to own the idea, Choose Co., from suing about it though. The Black Mirror visual novel, Bandersnatch, was sued for $20 million and settled out of court over this. The idea of an interactive fiction continued to evolve with the release of Colossal Cave Adventure in the late 70s. Graphics were added in the 1980s with games like Mystery House and King's Quest. We see the term graphic adventure coined during this time. Is there a difference between a graphic adventure and a visual novel? The term visual novel was first used in 1996 with the game Shizuku, but there are so many games that called themselves graphic adventures before then that are absolutely visual novels, like Hideo Kojima's Snatcher from 1988. As each decade has passed, audiences have been given more choice, more interactivity, and a move towards a return to the unique storytelling experiences of our ancestors. While it can be argued that there has been some degree of stagnation over the past 20 years, there were still storytelling gems like Detroit Become Human and The Walking Dead Season 1. Now, more recent releases like Baldur's Gate 3 have shown a return to the interactive promise first hinted at 60 years ago. And while Baldur's Gate 3 is an amazing game, there is a barrier to entry because of its gameplay that visual novels do not have. Dispatch is an obvious attempt to make the video game experience even more accessible to audiences. They spent an awful amount of time and energy dressing up the puzzle elements of this game as a narrative device. The whole Dispatch process is a puzzle game. It may not feel like it, but that says more about the expertise of the developers who polished this game. I'm not sure game is even the right term to use. Dispatch feels more like being a part of an interactive movie. Just as we moved from text to graphical stories in the 1980s, this is also something new. I mean, it's still a visual novel, but in the same way that Snatcher was a graphic adventure. We just don't have a better name yet. And as amazing as the story and experience of Dispatch is, there is so much more that it could be in the future with better technology and resources. Every character could be romanceable, not just a binary choice between a long-haired girl and a short-haired girl with a little demonic flirtation. We want choices that matter, not a bunch of fake options like in Fallout 4. Just like our ancestors, we want to experience a unique story. I think one of the reasons we see so many visual novels exploring adult content is that we really want to be able to pick the themes and sexual flavors we experience. The visual novel is a format that allows a player a greater ability to safely explore their sexuality than anything that has come before. And that's really what we eventually want. A world where every person is given the ability to interact with a story in their own uniquely personal way. Just as Homer tailored his epic to each of his audiences, we can eventually each experience our own epic as an audience of one. And that is the promise first hinted at by the earliest text games, the promise hinted at by Dispatch, and the ultimate promise of gaming in the 21st century. And until then, no shaming, just gaming.